In this video, I'm going to be attempting to run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours, and this is called the 4x4x48 challenge, and it was basically started a few years back by David Goggins, who, if you guys don't know, is just a ultra marathoner, retired Navy SEAL, New York Times bestseller, truly just an incredible guy. And so it's basically just a challenge where you just run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 miles, or for 48 hours. So 4 miles isn't really all that much, but you only have 3.5 hours of rest in between, and you got to do everything in your life, like eat and sleep and shower and all that stuff in between. So not really all that much rest time. I don't anticipate myself getting a ton of sleep this weekend, but I'm gonna try it out and see if I can do it. Right now it is around 7:50 p.m. You can see there on my phone it says 7:51. So basically I'm gonna start at 8 p.m. It's Friday, March 3rd right now, so I'm gonna start at 8 p.m. and then every 4 hours I'll just start again the 4 miles. So 8 p.m., midnight, 4 a.m., 8 a.m., etc., etc. So I'll do that essentially 12 times, and the last one will be Sunday at 4 p.m. I believe. So I'm kind of excited for it. If anyone knows me, I generally have not been a runner my entire life, but I kind of just wanted to do this because it sounded hard and sounded fun. And so the last few months, pretty much since the start of 2023, I've been running a decent bit, not all that much, most weeks just like 10 miles a week, 5 miles twice, which for a lot of people probably isn't that much, but for me that's a lot more than I ran before, and so that's kind of what my training has been. I've done a few longer runs, but yeah, that's about it. I'll take you guys along for some of the runs and obviously show you all the results throughout the weekend. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for it, and I'm gonna get started in just a few minutes. So about 2.2 miles in, and feeling all right. I think I'm going fairly slowly, fairly easily, I would say. Most of the time when I run this route and I do 5 miles instead of 4, I'm usually around 8:45, 9 minute 5 second pace, and I usually do that twice a week. So I think for these runs I'm shooting for between 9 and 9:15, especially with these first few. Definitely just trying to take it easy, not exert myself too hard on the first couple runs, but so far feeling good. Still got a lot of miles left this weekend, but yeah, for now feeling all right. So just finished up run number 1, and as you can see, it was pretty windy out there, but aside from that, pretty uneventful. So I'll see you guys in a few hours around midnight for run number 2. 12:30 a.m. I'm 3 miles into run number 2, and it's not too bad so far. After I got back from the first run, I ate some food, finished some homework, and cooked some food, and then I ended up sleeping for about 45 minutes. And when I get home here in about a mile, I'll definitely just sleep as much as I can before the next run. Just about 3.9 miles into run number 3, and honestly, it's not going too bad. My ankles usually hurt a little bit, but after the first 2 miles, they feel a lot better. So just about 3 miles in on run number 4, and out here by the river, because I did run number 3 at 4 a.m. and then I ate some food
and rested a little bit, and then actually went to rowing practice at 6, and I was from 6 to 8, and then right after practice ended, I just put on my running shoes and started running along the river here. So far this one hasn't been too hard because it's been pretty flat down by the river here, but up in Clifton, where I've done the past 3, and I'll be probably doing the next most of them up there, it's a little more hilly, so it's a little bit more difficult. So I just finished up run number 4, and honestly feeling all right, I would say. So far, just today from my 3 runs and the rowing workout, I've burned over 2,200 calories, and I have 19,000 some steps, so definitely gonna have to eat a lot of food today so that I can fuel my body for all these runs. But honestly, that's what most of my day is probably gonna be, just eating, sleeping, and getting these runs in. Just about 2.5 miles through run number 5. As you can see, got the gloves on. My hands were getting like cold and chapped and dry on the other runs, so they're a little warm right now from the gloves, but I'd rather have the hands be warm than just getting dried out and chapped, so that's what I'm doing. Feeling solid, certainly not spectacular, but solid nonetheless. This is run number 6, and about 3 miles in right now. Pretty excited to finish this one for a few reasons. First of all, when I'm done with this run, it'll be halfway through, 24 miles complete out of 48, so that'll be fun. And also, that means I only have 1 run left on Saturday, which will be at 8 p.m. And then the last 5 runs will all be on Sunday, so looking forward to that. Currently 2.5 miles in, run number 7, and I feel like it's a bit of a milestone here because this means I've run a little bit over 26 and a half miles so far in this challenge, which is pretty cool since obviously that's a marathon. And I didn't do it all at once, but it's still a lot of running, and certainly more than I'm used to doing in, 25 hours. Because right now, this is the second 8 p.m. run, so just been into this challenge for about 24 and a half hours. Which is exciting again. So finishing this 7th run will be exciting, I think. And feeling all right. Left knee is definitely hurting a little bit, but nothing too severe. So just gonna keep hammering. All right, 3 miles into run number 8. Feeling pretty decent. This run is definitely a fair bit slower. Most of my runs so far have been right around the 9-minute mile range, plus or minus 5 seconds probably. This one is probably gonna end up being like 9:15, 9:20, 9:30, which is a little unfortunate, but at the same time, I'm perfectly fine with that because it means I'm still going, and I'd rather, just take it a little bit easier instead of, pushing myself to the absolute max when I still have 4 more of these things left after this one. Just over 2 miles into run number 9, and it's definitely starting to get harder as I slow down a little bit. The first 6 runs, I would say, were really not all that hard physically. They were certainly tough mentally, but these last few have gotten a lot harder physically, and mentally they are still tough, but I'm getting close enough to the end that it's sort of mentally getting a little bit easier. One of the hardest parts for me mentally is just getting out of bed, putting my shoes on, and getting started with the run. It just is like, I just really, a lot of times, I've just not wanted to do it when it comes time. But ultimately, I have, conquered that and have gotten out on time pretty much every time. Through the first 3 miles on run number 10, just still hammering at it, trying to make it through. This run has actually been pretty quick, surprisingly, and I'm excited about this one for a few reasons. After this, which is 1 mile left, I only have 2 more runs, and also I don't have any runs left in the dark, which for some reason or another they just seem more difficult in the dark to me. I don't know why. 2.6 miles into run number 11, the penultimate run, and I don't know, this one is at a fairly good pace as well, so I'm pretty happy about that. My glutes and hamstrings are definitely getting pretty fatigued, but most of the intense joint pain, I wouldn't say intense, but most of the joint pain I've had throughout some of the previous runs has pretty much gone away for the most part, which is pretty encouraging for the rest of run number 11 and the final run number 12. 2.25 miles through the last run, and I'm hammering through these miles below 8-minute pace and just trying to keep it up. All right, last 8th mile here of the 4x48 challenge. This last mile, this last 4 miles, really been pushing myself. I'm really happy with where I got over the last 2 days.
So it's been almost an hour and a half since I finished up the 4x4x48 challenge. Got a shower in, which felt great, and ate some food as well, since I've been burning a lot of calories and I'm trying not to lose too much weight this weekend. But just wanted to kind of share my overall thoughts. First of all, just happy that I was able to complete it for sure, but also sort of surprised at how well it went, I guess. The first 6 runs, I would say, were really not that bad. I was just, going through the motions, and it was certainly difficult in the moment, but it wasn't really like pushing me to the absolute limit at all. Runs 7, 8, and 9 were probably the toughest. I just started to, get some pain building up, I guess. My left knee was starting to hurt a fair bit, and my right Achilles was kind of sore for sure. So that was just a matter of working through that and keep going. And some of those runs were a little bit slower, which is perfectly fine. But overall, those were just a little bit more tough. And then once I got to number 10, 11, and 12, things just started to click, I guess. And, all that joint pain, knee pain type stuff just kind of went away for the most part. And I don't know, the runs just got a little bit faster. My muscles themselves were pretty fatigued by that point, especially, in my glutes and hamstrings. I could definitely feel that a lot, but I was just able to keep going through. And then the last run I was really happy with. Basically, I was shooting for like an 8:30 average pace. I thought that would be awesome. And then after the first mile, I did the first mile in like 8 minutes flat, pretty much. And the first mile is usually the hardest because the first, quarter to half a mile is like pretty steep up a hill. So once I got there, I was like, maybe I can just keep going at this 8-minute pace and see how fast I can go. And ended up finishing right around 7-minute 45 pace, which is like ridiculously good, I would say, for me, like on an average run, let alone at the end of this challenge. So it really begs the question, what are you capable of, and what am I capable of at the end of the day? And I think I pushed myself closer to my limits this weekend, but I don't think I got anywhere near my actual limits, which is pretty insane to think about, to be honest. So I'm just gonna try to keep pushing myself. Probably will take a few days of less running, not running, just to recuperate a little bit. I think it's noteworthy to just mention that I don't even know if I would have been able to complete this challenge in January before I started running. But over the past 2 months, I've been running, like I've said before, about 10 miles a week, just 5 miles twice a week. And that has really just helped me get better at running ultimately, and kind of build up my, muscles and joints and just frame, I guess, to be accustomed to more running. And if I didn't do that, my body wouldn't really be ready for this amount of running. And I don't know if I would have even able to finish. And if I did finish, I certainly wouldn't have been setting PRs or like going all out like much faster on the last mile for sure. So overall, just really happy with how it went, and I'm glad I was able to push myself. In terms of sleep, I think I probably got between 6 and 8 hours over the whole weekend, which honestly isn't that bad if you think about it. It's only like 48 hours, so that's not terrible. Certainly you're gonna sleep well tonight, I think. So I also compiled the totals, and I'll put a screenshot up here of my 48 miles, and my average pace was right around 8 minutes 53 seconds, which honestly I'm really happy with. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I definitely wasn't expecting it to go that well. Was shooting for, or I would have been happy for sure, between 9 minutes and 9:15. So like I said, really happy with how it turned out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.